Namaste, guys. So I just want to talk about, Karna and Arjun, right? So this was a little bit of a debate back when we watched the Mahabharata on my channel, about a couple years ago now. So that's still available on YouTube, and even in the members section, we have the whole B.R. Chopra Mahabharata available to watch with us. Just our reactions to it. So of course people still need to, watch the original, kind of like split the screen. But anyway, that's still there. So proof that I watched it. Anyways, I watched the whole thing, and then, for me, I've always been a huge Arjun fan. I was always on Team Arjun. Arjun is the greatest warrior. Arjun is the greatest because he was seeking the truth. He surrendered onto Sri Krishna and then got the incredible teachings, which is the most important thing, that we actually got those teachings from Sri Krishna on the battlefield. That comprises the Bhagavad Gita. Just that wisdom, it's profound, right? It's ultimate truth. If God was in human form, this is what he would say. And to really grasp that and understand that on a higher level can heal and change the world if people would actually read it. So you got other religions, of course, they're reading it and studying it, and then they deny it because it doesn't fit with their concept of God, right? Well, just remove Krishna from that, because ultimately what matters is what is being spoken. So it could be spoken also from formlessness, right? If people want to more identify with God that way. But anyways, ultimately, it was big Arjun, right? And Karna had some opportunities to change his mind, to go the other route, to go back to the side of the Pandavas. And even Sri Krishna asked him to come over, and he denied that. And it was recently, really reflecting during my experience in retreat here, where I'm going into some of these wounds from childhood that I never addressed before until now, doing the inner child healing. There was some abandonment wounds and some child trauma that I needed to work on and deal with as part of my spiritual bypassing, which you don't even know. You don't know you're spiritual bypassing, when it's happening to you, right? But it becomes obvious down the road when the suffering doesn't let up, and then it leads to catastrophic events that really makes you look. So new appreciation for Karna just due to his trauma and suffering. So being abandoned by his mother at infancy, right? And then just the treatment coming up. It was obvious that he was a Kshatriya, a warrior, but he was put into a lower Varna, which was and then he had some discrimination. And you could even see it in the Mahabharata, where even the Pandavas were looking down on him. And it wasn't until Duryodhana saw his prowess that really, adopted him and made him feel seen and worthy, right? So then, of course, that loyalty came up, which is such a powerful thing. But he was full of trauma. And then, and then somebody was kind to him and accepted him for who he was. And then he became extremely loyal to that, to his downfall ultimately. And then with other, catastrophic events, like being stripped of his armor, being cursed by Parshuram, right? Because he lied. So a lot of negative things happened to him. And it was, very tragic. But you can see how stoic he was in his decision to remain how he was. So with all the goodness and compassion and gratitude and generosity, where somebody asked him for something, he couldn't say no. So just an amazing character within the Mahabharata. And I have a new love and appreciation for him now. So I just wanted to express that. But ultimately, when we're talking about Dharma and Adharma, So we're calling the Kshatriyas, or not the Kshatriyas, but the Kauravas were Adharma, and then the Pandavas were on the side of Dharma because they were on the side of Krishna, right? Whereas Duryodhan was very obviously adharmic. So we got to keep in mind that even though there's this thing called Sanatan Dharma, so Hinduism in general, and it's a huge and all-encompassing, universal, global way of life that there's no escaping it, right? And there's going to be Dharma and Adharma within it. So we got to keep that in mind even now. So when people are calling themselves Hindu, and I meet a lot young men who label themselves as Hindu when we meet, yet they're not practicing, they're not doing anything spiritual, they're not seeking to evolve and practice the teachings, right? So that's ultimately, what's important. So Hinduism, it's being attacked on all sides by other religions. And there's a call for unity within Hinduism, but it almost seems like, surface level, almost superficial spirituality where people are very much about the bhakti and going to the temple. But it's not this ecstatic, bhakti that goes with like true surrender unto God, because when that is happening, people are extremely kind to each other and looking after the environment and stuff. So it's a different quality to it. So you can go to the temple and pray all you want for wealth and abundance and riches for your own selfish desires, but that's not spirituality, right? So Dharma, in this sense, would be actually, true surrender and devotion onto a chosen deity, and then practicing the other yogas as well. So getting into the teachings, right? Actually reading and understanding and studying the Bhagavad Gita. And if you need a guru in order to access those teachings, if that's an easier way to learn, then you need to seek that. And then you need to understand the karma yoga and to do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? And to really, 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 really practice spirituality. Meditation, to see what's coming up. If there's anger and frustration, desire, shame, guilt, greed, lust, anger, hate, all of these things need to be addressed. Even pride, even holding on to this pride of I'm better than you, and my religion is the only way, and my religion is the best. There's a lot of people walking around chanting, Jai Shri Ram and Har Har Mahadev, yet there's no true surrender there. It's just pride. It's very much like many, Christians say that Jesus is the only way, yet they're not even practicing love, which is like the foremost teaching there. So we really, really need to access the higher truth, access the teachings, and then devote ourselves to that on the path, which is why even for Karna, he was on that journey and he had access to the teachings and he was a very, very spiritual person, but at the same time he stuck true to his loyalty. So with Hinduism right now, we really got to synthesize and integrate and transfer our adharmic tendencies into more dharmic, right? True purpose of being good and kind and caring towards the whole, right? So that's what, dharma is. It's duty and righteousness and honor and valor towards the truth. And the ultimate truth is that we're all one in reality. So to really start practicing that in our everyday lives. So hope you guys understand what I'm talking about. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you were a big fan of Arjun or Karna, let's get a discussion going. All right. Thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.